probably like 106 degrees, 108, depending on where you're at. The other day it was 112. So we got, as I said the other day, we got like a 38 wildfires. Just it's nuts out here, right? So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. We are going to be talking about Netflix, and the title is "Has Netflix Lost Its Mind?" Right? So we're going to get into all that. I promise you. So I'd like to say a big giant welcome to Donovan, who's the other side of the conversation on this very free flow Friday. If you guys would please share this video so everybody can get some information and join in on the conversation. Also like to say a big giant thank you to Marcus Guyton for all that he does behind the scene and making the show go as far as it can. And to YouTube and Facebook, the other side of the conversation, for we cannot do this show without you. It is our pleasure to have this conversation with you. And so, Donovan, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, what's going on in my neck of woods? I got some good news this morning. The 5-star general made, I guess, not the dean's. Well, he made this dean's list, but I guess he made the national honor thing. So big ups to him. Big ups to him. Like I said, you're never too old to teach an old dog new tricks, especially if the dog wants to learn the new trick. And basically, I just couldn't get over the Democratic convention and how everybody's telling you how great a guy Joe is and what a great friend he is and what a great dad he is and all that other good stuff. And I just couldn't hear any policy. What are you going to? Okay, Joe, you guys win. You're there. Now what?
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
So, all right. Well, we're going to get into talking about all of that. Oh, I know what I was doing. Wait, I was trying to do something, but I lost my place. So I'm going to draw a point here. So you guys, please bear with me. All right. So as I said a minute ago, we are going to talk about Netflix losing their minds. And so specifically, Netflix has decided to debut a movie on September 9th called Cuties. Now, it's originally a French movie made by a French director. We'll get into a little bit of that, but I wanted you guys to come in just a little bit because I'm going to show you guys the trailer, and then we're going to talk about what there is to talk about in regards to Netflix losing its mind. And so, for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and play this video. I mean, and later on, we can perhaps talk about Joe Biden. I just felt like I'm not really, we'll talk about it someday. Just didn't really want to talk about it much today because, the Democratic convention just ended with Joe Biden's speech. And to me, all I heard was wah, 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 wah. The same old thing, and I was like, we can talk about it, but for what, right? So anyway, and of course, we know the Republican GOP convention is next week, and of course, we'll have a lot to say about that. For you guys out there saying, you guys are just one-sided. You're always talking about Joe Biden. Well, hold your beer. Can't wait for it. We're going to talk about the GOP, too. So anyway, let me go ahead and show you guys this trailer. And then we can get into it. How about that? Here we go.
Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Il se passe quoi là? Vous faisiez quoi, la gare? On va danser le concours. Qui ça, vous? Quoi? Oh, mais je suis un grave petit truc, tu vois tous les likes qu'on a eu? Vous savez où moi c'est spécial? C'est censé faire des pour le mariage de ton père. Regarde comme elle te va. Tu es une femme maintenant. C'était où là? Il faut quoi? J'étais en retard. Je suis désolée. Me dis pas. Tu l'as volé? Oh la déglingue, j'y crois pas. À quoi tu joues là, Ami? Il est tué, Ami. Il faut le marcher, dépêcher ses fesses avec. Vous avez quel âge? 14.
Oh my God.
All right, and so as you guys can see, that was the trailer for the movie called Cuties. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go ahead and show you why everybody is up in arms. Well, if not everybody, but I think everybody should be up in arms about this movie. So one moment. One day I'm going to learn how to get a little faster at this. So as you can see here, hopefully you can see it. But this is what Netflix decided to advertise in regards to this movie. As you can see, there's 4 little girls. Now, some people are saying that one of them is a little boy. I don't know. I didn't have time to even really look into that. But let's just assume they're all girls. This is what Netflix decided to lead with. These girls that are in very compromising positions, right? Mm-hmm. Now, let me go ahead and read the example or the description that Netflix went with. So it says, Amy, 11, becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew, hoping to join the team.
11.
She starts to... That's what I said. Yeah.
No.
Amy, 11.
Yeah, I'm just saying. 11. 11.
Oh, yeah. So Amy, 11, becomes fascinated with the twerking dance crew, hoping to join them. She starts to explore her femininity, defying her family's traditions, right? So this is what Netflix decided would do to promote the movie, right? Again, people lost their minds. They're like, oh my God, what is going on here? You know, these are 11-year-olds. They're twerking, this, that, and the other. Okay. So this is, they changed it to, right? This is what they changed it to after all the backlash that went down. Obviously, you know, the picture's a little less suggestive, if you will. I guess that's Amy. Then the description reads, 11-year-old Amy starts to rebel against her conservative family's traditions when she becomes fascinated with the free-spirited dance crew, okay? So they changed it because, as I said, a lot of people got on Netflix's bumper, all right? So now this is actually the film's director, and her name is, I wrote it down and I don't know what I did with it, but it says it here because it's kind of hard for me to pronounce, but I'll try to do my best. Maimona, or something like that, Decor, and I probably jacked her name up. But she's the director of this film. She's French and Senegalese, and so the film is actually has English subtitles because it's, I guess, originally is made in the French, right? Mm-hmm. Now, she says, this is her words, Cuties is a 2020 French teen coming-of-age comedy drama film written and directed by Maimona, I think that's how you say it, Decor. On her feature film directorial debut, the film stars in the list of girls' names in the lead roles. The film is based on a traditional Senegalese Muslim girl who is caught and torn between two contrasting fortunes, traditional values, and internet culture, while also speaking about her sexualization of pre-adolescent girls. The plot of the film also drew comparison, similar to in a couple of other movies, I guess, in France, right? And so it's also be said that the film debuted at the Sundance Film Festival, okay? Now, this is what Netflix put out due to the backlash of, you know, everything that went on. And so this was on their Twitter. It says, we are deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we use for, and I guess mignon is the French word for cuties, right? I know I messed that up. My apologies. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film, which won an award at Sundance. Now, peep out what they did now. They threw Sundance under the bus, saying, well, it won an award at Sundance, okay? We've now updated the pictures and description. So I just showed you guys all of it, right? So they threw Sundance under the bus, saying, hey, you know, well, they thought it was okay. All right, now hold your beer. Now, it says Sundance co-founder Sterling Van Wangen, I can't read today, my apologies, okay? Sentenced for child sex abuse. He's a co-founder of Sundance Film. Robert Redford is actually the other co-founder of this film festival. And so he was been sentenced to 6 years for child abuse, sexual child abuse. So he abused, I think the child was 6, 7, very young, whoever it was. Sounds like he admitted to doing it. So now he's serving a 6-year sentence for doing so. All right. So hopefully you guys are up to speed. So I'll bring myself back in here. So hopefully you guys are up to speed about all of that. And so that brings us to the latter point of a lot of people saying or asking, what's going on? This is that of pedophilia. This is a pedophile's dream. You have these girls, these young girls, right? I don't even think they're in puberty, right? Like 11 years old, most girls aren't even in puberty. But here are these girls who are on a twerk team. They're fascinated with twerking. And so the director of the film was basically saying, hey, I wanted to actually highlight this culture. I was really confused of her stance, if you ask me, because she was saying that she would see girls, dancing and twerking and stuff. And so she wanted to really understand what it was that was going on. But as you guys also saw in the trailer, it really demonized her mother, who was of Muslim faith. As you guys saw, it showed her slapping, her daughter, basically making the mom come off as abusive because, and I haven't watched the movie, admittedly, it comes out on the 9th of September, but it shows her mom to be a little bit on the abusive side. And it has this feel-good undertones like, oh, this girl is trying to find her sexuality and her femininity and all this other stuff, but yet the mom is the demon because, you find out your daughter is doing such a thing. I'm not saying her mom should, be hitting her or shouldn't be hitting her, but it more or less demonizes the mother. And in closing, it should also say that this film is rated mature for audiences, I think, 16 and over. And so the fact that you have to be of some maturity to watch this film about 11-year-olds is really problematic. If you ask me, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but a lot of people are not happy. They're actually asking Netflix to not show the film at all. It's nice on one hand that you change description and you change the poster, but why not just take it away?
Right.
You don't need to show that at all. And so I'm going to get to you guys' comments, but Donovan, what do you think?
Well, again, immediately see how alarmed I was when you said this was about 11-year-old, adventure or whatever she's doing. The girl's 11 years old and she's twerking. And then I had to ask the question of Sinhalese. Isn't that the same people that were supposed to be on the island that you're not supposed to go to? Okay, it's not that island. It's the Sinhalese people. Okay, so...
the Senegalese is in Africa. Sentinelese.
Oh, Sentinelese. Right. That's what I'm thinking of. So, cause I was saying, what is she doing off the island? No, but anyway, no, in all seriousness, no, but, all of this connects, like you just pulled out the owner of the Sundance Film Festival, with everything that's been revealed with the Epstein documents, this thing here, Harvey Weinstein, Oprah Winfrey, all these things seem to be like coming together and interlocking. Is this how the rich get down? Is how you become rich and powerful? And, I don't know what to say. A movie about pre-adolescents moving their body in a sexual way, in a fun, adventure of how, I don't know how even if somebody could write a story like that to begin with. So, very telling of, to me, they should have pulled the movie, no questions asked. This is not what we're looking for. This is not entertainment. That's all I can say.
And I'm going to get to you guys' comments. And I 100% agree with you that, as I said about the whole Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B thing, I think they're the easy targets, if you will. I think it's too easy to try to blame them. I think that we need to realize the bigger picture, and that is there's an agenda. There's an agenda. What it is exactly, I'm not for sure, but it seems like you have these little girls who are twerking for whatever reason, it's being promoted in a very sexual manner, the original way that Netflix tried to go about promoting it. And then a lot of our music, especially today, now listen, I don't want to get into the argument about, but what about this person? What about Little Kim? All of it. All of it is sending a very hyper-sexualized message to everybody, but especially children. And so you're not going to tell me, okay, that children aren't going to watch this movie, especially little girls, and think, oh my God, because if you listen to the music, it was kind of hopeful, it was uplifting, and, you know, it sounds like it's supposed to be a movie of triumph. Why would you want your daughters to, like, you could have made that movie about anything but twerking? So I think we really need to understand that there is an agenda. Hollywood, and listen, if you guys ever read or I think there might be a documentary on Shirley Temple. Temple was the first child actor, the first millionaire child actor. Shirley Temple was on the silver screen, as they call it. So when she was like 2, 3, you know, very young, and she talked about how grown men would, you know, hit on her and advance upon her as a baby, a child. Now, if you look at the image of someone like Shirley Temple, I want to call her Shirley Black because that was her name when she got married. But Shirley Temple, they had her this little sex pot. She was like a miniature Betty Boop, if you will. She was, you know, very cute and dainty, and the red pouty lips and the, you know, the bloomers and stuff like that on. And so when you think about the image of Shirley Temple, even back in the early 1900s, you trip off of it because to the naked eye is like, okay, well, she's this cute little girl and, you know, the good ship lollipop and all this other stuff. But then when you look at it from a different eye, you're like, well, what's really going on here? And why would they? Because if you look at it, she was sexualized. If you truly look at Shirley Temple. And so here we are in 2020. And throughout then, we've heard a lot of people, especially grown-ups now who were children, said that they were raped, molested. You know, there's a lot of pedophilia going on. And here we are where it's like, bam. We're not even going to hide it anymore. We're not even going to make it little dog whistles. We're not going to, well, could it be? It's like, bam. Here you go, some 11-year-olds twerking.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you talk about Shirley Temple Black. One of her last films was with a very senior Ronald Reagan, and she was like still a teenager. And they were looking at her like, wait a minute, the optics of this doesn't look right. You know, here's Ronald Reagan, a very mature older man. Ronald had to be in his late 40s when they did this movie, and she's like 19, maybe 17, and they've got her as the love interest of Ronald Reagan. You know what I mean? It's true stuff, guys. Go look this stuff up. It goes back years.
And I'm going to get to you guys' comments. I also want to say, as far as like, you know, Shirley Temple being a love interest when she was 19, a lot of the movies that she was in when she was a baby, a child, was sort of a sick love interest. If you guys go check them out, and you're gonna see it from a different point of view. It didn't come up as a paternal relationship with Shirley Temple, the child. It almost came off as like a weird sort of relationship type of thing. Mm-hmm. And maybe you guys already know that, but if you just go check it out. So this thing in Hollywood is nothing new, right? It's not nothing new at all. But I will say the thing that makes it new is that it's so in your face, like bam. Yeah. How about some 11-year-olds twerking for you?
You know, and the funny thing about this movie, why is it always the black women of color that are like in the forefront doing? I mean, they got, I guess from the clip, we saw some white girls in there, but it seems like in the forefront, the exploitation of girls of color are being put out.
Because that's what's that's the narrative that they being the powers that be paint of or try to paint of black women, black girls. And, you know, as I said the other day, I know some people are going to get mad, but when you give, make passes for Megan Thee Stallion, I throw Little Kim and all of them in there too, you make passes, excuses for them, this kind of stuff is next. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand on one hand, this grown-up music or whatever people could call it. Some people call it porn music. I don't know. So, yeah, that's for adults. But in this day and age, you ain't going to tell me that there's not an 11-year-old or 10-year-old, 9-year-old, hell, 8, whatever, run around talking about they got a WAP. So we need to be careful of what we glorify and what we justify, right? So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get to you guys' comments. So, Ravana, what's happening? Hey, y'all. She says, if you guys are in the watch parties and you want to see your comments, come on over and we'll read them. And let's see, you guys want a t-shirt that says hold the boat until we as black people get what we need, some tangibles, reparations, and everything in between. We go over to Black and Dope Apparel and purchase you a shirt. And we also have some other pretty cool things over there for very affordable prices in the commercial. Hey, Erica, it's just, I cannot either. Because yesterday when I saw it, I thought it was a joke. And so I said, well, let me go to Google, let me go research, and sure enough, it was real. I was like, they got to be kidding. But okay. Hey, Nancy, you said just for pedophiles. Yeah, you're not going to, like, think about it. Well, maybe don't think about it because it's kind of, a little on the gross side. But, good and hell goddamn well. Pedophiles got their popcorn ready. They cannot wait until this movie comes out. You come on now. And, I was having a conversation with a dude yesterday. I'm like, I don't know. I just think a man work his weight would feel kind of weird watching this movie about 11. I mean, a woman too, but I'm saying especially men. I don't know why you would want to watch that. And I'm not trying to indict anybody. I'm just asking questions. I don't know why a man would want to watch that movie, unless you have some underlying motives. And don't give me the crap about, I want to do some investigative journalism. No, don't watch that. I've been told I should watch it so I'll have a better point of view, but I'm not going to watch it. Mm-hmm. Just so you guys know. That's the trailers as far as I'm going to go. And then she also say, that's what people are taught instead of English, math, and accounting. Yeah, that's what they wanted you to know now. And then think of the other narrative. That's what I was going to say. The other narrative is she's bucking the authority. She's going against her traditional values of her family. It's like, girl, let's sit yourself down. You're 11 years old. You're going to do what I say do.
Exactly. When does a 11-year-old or a legal minor have any rights in regards to the parents? I mean, I used to tell my kids all the time, you can call CPS all you want. By the time they get here, you'll be dead.
But so it's also teaching them, don't be rebellious, be disobedient. Your mom wants you to put some clothes on at 11. Your mom doesn't want you to twerk. And you have some religious values that you should be adhering to, whether you like it or not. You're a child, but that's okay. Jump out of windows and go, to twerking contests with your friends because, you should be liberated and be able to express your femininity. I mean, that's what I got from what I read in the trailer. And so it's very problematic.
Hey, did you remember a movie back in the early 90s? It was called The Girl on the IRT Train. And it was
I do.
Yeah, remember that movie? It kind of reminded me a little bit of that type of movie and this was a British movie, or it was based in England.
No,
was it?
No, it was here.
Oh, it was here. It was here. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's right. Girl on the IRT. But yeah.
Just another girl on the IRT.
Right. I mean, excellent movie, but that kind of reminded me of that kind of genre. Of like the girls. She's trying to find her way and.
Well. The difference between, I'm going to get to finish you guys' comments, the difference between Just Another Girl from the IRT and from what I saw, now admittedly I didn't see the whole movie of Cuties, if you will. Mm-hmm. Just Another Girl from the IRT was an early 90s movie, and it was about a girl, I think she was about 15, 16, something like that, who was a little bit on the fast side, but it showed the consequences of being, being out there and having sex unprotected as a minor, the things that you go through. And so to me, it's actually one of my favorite movies, and I've watched it, and I've showed it to my daughter when she was young, and my niece when she was young, because, while you think you know best, this is probably a real-life depiction of what it's like to be unprepared and to be out there doing adult things without, being able to really take care of being an adult or doing adult things, if you will. But I actually, it's one of my favorite movies. So anyway, Arsha says, hey guys, I hope you all are doing good. We are doing fabulous, and I hope the same for you. And Max, what's going on with you? You know what? We should have brought you on here. That's what we should have did. So you can give us your commentary, Miss Max.
We can still send.
Now they doing too much.
Yeah, we can still send the link.
I totally agree with you. Totally. And then Corey, what's going on?
We can still send Max the link. We can still send Max the link. So. And she sent her the link that. And
Corey says you're absolutely right. That film is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And Amanda says Senegal represent, yes, the Senegal, Africa. That's where that's they're from, I guess. And author Andre was happy. It says Illuminati. Yeah, one would argue that too. If, the Illuminati is, really a thing. But there definitely is an esoteric agenda going on. But like I said, to have that thrown out in your face, 11-year-olds twerking is not so secret anymore. It's just, hey, you guys have put up with us doing this and doing that, and okay, well, they didn't get too mad about that. Okay, let's push the envelope. Let's do this. And now I'm not even trying to speak this into the universe or anything like that, but what's next? Children having full-blown sex, and then we try to justify, I've had people say, someone said, well, you need to see the whole film before you judge what is going on. I'm like, why do I need to see the whole film? I've seen enough. I don't want to know why 11-year-old girls are twerking or, about, them trying to explore their femininity. And let me ask y'all this, because maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really versed on the subject, but does femininity equate to showing your body and talking about your WAP and twerking? Is that what femininity is? I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm kind of out of the loop with certain things.
No, I don't think so. Femininity has to do with basically your sexuality of being a woman, being a, just a basic woman, just, whatever that might be. Yeah, you've got a WAP and you've got all those things, but it's your mentality, it's your how you conduct yourself. It's a whole range of things.
But yeah, so I guess that's the next question does showing your business and you're talking about your WAP and all of that, does that equate to womanhood? I'm confused. I don't know. Maybe womanhood is different for one woman than it is the next. And I'm low-key kind of ignorant to this, so if somebody can help me out, I don't know. And Channy was happy. He says the sad reality is that the rich have always got down, quote unquote, like that. We now have film to prove it. Yeah. It's ingrained into Hollywood. That is what Hollywood is. As a lot of people say, Hollyweird, and we see why, because they have a lot. I mean, come on. All of these people can't be lying, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we've heard it from, childhood stars over and over and over again of the things that they do to them as children. And, people are like shocked. And Donovan says, Chatty, I see. And Andre says, do you feel Trump has been acting inappropriate in some of his photos of him and his daughter? Yes. Yeah, I think it's really weird. And I don't, from the photos, I don't know, but definitely some of the things that he said, like, if she wasn't my daughter, I would date her. And like he even made some sexual comments in regards to his daughter. And so, it's highly inappropriate. But I think Donovan was just saying, in their world, that stuff is normal. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many of our fathers, it wouldn't be like Jerome down the street couldn't talk about his daughter like that without people, throwing up. But Trump has gone on many talk shows and been, many clips talking about, basically sexually fantasizing about his daughter Ivanka. Right? So, that's very inappropriate if you ask me. And Al, how you doing? He says, that Hagen girl is the name of Shirley Temple movie Donovan is talking about. Okay. And I know Al would be well-versed because he's a Hollywood fanatic. And yeah, Donovan too. And Donovan's, yes, that Hagen girl. That's the name of the movie, that Hagen girl. Thanks, Al. And Abdallah, what's happening? You say there is a problem in Africa. African nations with albinos from Europe taking sexual vacations in Senegal and other African nations, sexually abusing children as young as 5 or less. But in most cases, the parents are complicit due to the abject poverty intentionally created and maintained there. So you're absolutely right. They go over there soliciting sex from, and I'm not even going to say soliciting sex from the children. To your point, they're soliciting sex from their parents and their pimps and things like that, because a child of 5 cannot consent to that. They don't know what's going on, but they're being used and sold satisfy these sexual predators. And so, yeah, it is known fact that a lot of white men go over to these third world countries and have their sexual way with these babies. And so, yes, a lot of that is due to poverty. A lot of these people haven't eaten in days, and here comes, Mr. Johnson from America wants to have his way with their child, and they're going to pay him a pretty decent sized amount of money to do it. And so, yeah, unfortunately, they say, well, you won't remember this, in a couple of years, but then they continue to do it. So it's a mess. And Arson says Senegal is one country I always wanted to visit. Anyway, we need to embrace ourselves because things are about to change. Personally, I don't want to blame that Cardi B video and all resemblant ones, or one I guess that resembles it. But it's definitely a part of the same machine cycle agenda. Now, sorry if I sound gross, but I believe that sadly, eventually pedophilia will be normalized and legalized. This plan is bigger than Black people alone, but we are still definitely on the front lines. No, and I've seen articles, I haven't really delved into that, but I've seen articles where they're saying that they're trying in some places to push pedophilia into making it legal. Basically saying they can't help who they love type of thing. And, we have the MAMLA, Man-Boy Love Organization or Association, or whatever it is, to where they are unapologetic. They, being the men, are unapologetic about wanting to be with young boys. And they don't understand why that is demonized. They should be able to do those things. It doesn't make them, this is not me, obviously, it doesn't make them bad people for wanting to have sex with children. So, yeah, that there is some talk of them actually making it legal. Like, well, why do you care? And Candice, I hope I said that right. How are you? He says, even if you tell these children they don't listen, and when you look at the parents, they are young and twerking also, so I blame these young parents. Absolutely. Children are going to do what they see you do. We always hear, don't do what I do what I say. Come on now. We know that more than likely children do what they see you do, and I agree. We can go on social media any given day and see, women bending it over, twerking, and sometimes the kids are there. We're even seeing where the kids are twerking at the birthday parties and doing the most. And so it is my belief that parents who behave in that type of activity need to be taken out in the middle of town and have some sense beat into them. But that's me.
Yeah, remember that video we did, I think last year before last, where the mother was twerking and the son was dropping dollar bills and spanking her butt?
Yeah, right. And then we're at a point to where people get mad. Y'all need to mind y'all business. Y'all make everything out. It's like, well, who's going to save the babies? Doesn't Marvin Gaye got a song, Save the Children? Who's going to save the children? Who's going to be an ally to these children? At some point in time, I just think we who are here in society, whatever society that is, we just need to put our foot down and say enough is enough. Like you got a whole R. Kelly in prison, and he should be. Okay, I'm not an R. Kelly apologist or an advocate at all. He's in prison for doing the stuff that Hollywood is now promoting. I mean,
still in the show. I'm still in the show. Oh.